Hey, what up, people? The Football Talker here. I'm your host, AB. What a weekend. I had a chance to calm down. What happened yesterday was unbelievable. The stage was set. Just imagine your favorite buffet, your favorite whatever, your favorite show. Like you've had a tough day at work, you know that there's that new episode of your favorite show, you know what I'm saying? Or there's that special someone waiting for you back at home after a long day at work, and you're just thinking, wow, I can't wait to get back home to my show, get back home to that special somebody, you know what I'm saying? Or even it could even just be that, you have this plate of leftovers of that food from Christmas that was really banging. You have that plate you've been saving. And then you get back home and then you realize that maybe like your TV subscription has expired and you didn't know. Or maybe you left that TV show, that episode to be on download like on Netflix or something like that, and you realize that your router, your internet was finished and you didn't know. Or even maybe that special someone that you thought was waiting for you, they didn't turn up. Or maybe they even turned up and then you got back home and you found them in bed with somebody else. Or just imagine it was the leftovers of that food from Christmas. And then you realize you go home. And because you thought you put it in the fridge, but you didn't turn on your fridge because of the veg and everything inside, those leftovers went bad. That was the feeling yesterday. Arsenal, what the hell was that? That may have been a draw. Both teams get 1 point. But definitely Liverpool, the more happier team of the two, for sure, no question. Everything you needed, everything you wanted was there. All you had to do was do your part. And you effed up, you fumbled. Chelsea lost. Chelsea were their generous selves like usual, you understand? Losing against Fulham. Correa back in the team, they missed him, and he found a way to make himself get back out of the team again. Stupid red card. Chelsea still suffering. Their manager not even taking charge yet. Lost the game. Happy days, London brothers and all of that, they lost. You get. Man City drew against Brighton, and arguably should have even lost the game because the amount of clear-cut chances that Brighton missed. City drew another game at home, their third consecutive draw. You get. Villa drew their game as well. Everything you needed to go further up the table, put more distance, more daylight between you and City was there. What more could you have wanted? You're playing another direct rival in Liverpool, the champions, yes, but at home, all these other results were in your favor. And Liverpool, by far, were fielding a weakened team with no bench. Frimpong was on the wing. You get, everything was set for you to deliver. And what do you go and do? You put on that performance. Crap performance. That performance was crap. Not only was it crap, it was so crap also because of all the games, of all the challenges and the issues and everything that Arsenal had to navigate, both in the last 3 games and in recent periods of the season. That was probably the easiest. Arsenal, you beat Villa when they were on form, about to make it 11 straight wins. You passed that test. You passed the test against Bournemouth. This was arguably an easier test to pass and yet he managed to scuff it. Team selection was strong, no issue there at all. Play your football. What was all that? I have to say, man, Rice is top dog, Zubimendi is top, Odegaard is top, and all of that. But Liverpool, they executed better game plan for sure. They made it difficult in the first half, sat deep, frustrated Arsenal, made sure there are no opportunities, no passing lane and everything. And Arsenal as well, they walked right into it. The movement wasn't there. The penetrative passing from Zubimendi wasn't there. Zubimendi, for the first time in a while, didn't look as composed as we know him to be in that deep area of the midfield, because he's the one supposed to be threading those passes through in between the lines and everything. Rice was basic in this game. You know, even the set pieces were not all that, and you know, they're not really anything that special. Trossard, ineffective, just got that yellow card early in the game. And what? Okay, one time he got down the byline, tried to square it and everything. But beyond that, not really much. In that first half, probably all Arsenal had was, you know, threat of Saka and all of that. And then a couple of, you know, nice combination plays on the right wing. First half was definitely Arsenal. It was a game of two halves, you know. But just in the context of what that game meant and everything, that's probably one of Arsenal's worst performances of the season. All the anticipation, everything, the predictors, the bookies and everything, all predictions pointed to the fact that Arsenal were going to not only win this game, but make like a statement performance, make a statement win of the game. And then they just go and they just lay flat. You get nothing from Arsenal's midfield per se over the course of the 90, you know. Then second half, Liverpool turned it up. Like they switched it. They definitely switched it. Passing was quicker from them. More interplay, more combination passes and all of that. And we gave a lot of needless free kicks. Zubimendi gave away a lot of needless free kicks in midfield. Timber as well gave a lot of needless free kicks in the game, you know, which kind of killed our momentum at times, or periods where we're struggling to get on the ball, and then we finally did. And then he just went and was rash and caused the PK and, you know, conceded possession back to them and stuff like that. Arsenal midfield wasn't there. Gyökeres. This dude, I've had enough, bro. There has been enough games to finally just say like it is. This guy is complete crap. Absolute crap. I don't want to hear nothing about all this. Oh, he pins the center backs. Oh, he does all these other whatever. All of that doesn't, listen, all of that, all those excuses and exemptions, they don't cut it anymore. You're assigned to be that bad boy striker for Arsenal. You're assigned to be the guy to lead the line for Arsenal, to fire Arsenal to a trophy with your goals. You're assigned to be that guy that can assure Arsenal of a minimum of like 15 to 20 league goals, almost on a consistent basis. This dude can't even keep his balance. What kind of? In fact, in this game, he was barely even moving, just strutting around, waiting and hoping that the ball lands at his feet. What type of football is that? Move, bro. Move. Where's the movement? And you see, the thing with Gyökeres is this. Like I already said, Arsenal's midfield wasn't really on top of their game like that and everything. But you see, when it comes to the build-up for Arsenal, Gyökeres is a big problem as well. Because Gyökeres is really not a passing option when it comes to build-up in any phase of play at all. Because his ball retention, his hold-up play, even his balance as a person is so poor, so below standard that everybody just, you could really even see that there are many times where maybe even when he shows for it the players are not really as keen to give him the ball until they are absolutely sure that there's no pressure behind him. Because in a game like that, where Liverpool were sitting so deep, they're just waiting for, that opportunity where they could pounce and counter and throw people in numbers and put Arsenal, on the side in an uncomfortable position defensively. They didn't want to risk it. So that makes Arsenal like numerically deficient in terms of like building up and the kind of penetrative passing that they can play and all of that. Now that wouldn't have really been a problem per se, because sometimes every player offers what they can. They have their qualities that they bring. Perhaps yours isn't really ball playing and holding up play and all of that. Cool. But at least you need to pay dividends somewhere else. Where's the box movement? In that first half alone, there were a lot of opportunities. To at least even test Alisson. Where was the forward? Where was the striker? Nowhere. Because he's not anticipating. The anticipation is not there. He's ball fucking watching. Where's the instinct of the striker? Where is that anticipation that, okay, this ball is coming, or based off of how my winger has beat his man, he's likely to play the ball into this area. So let me make sure I'm getting there first. Everything was just passive, just strolling and wherever. He should have been hooked at halftime. There's absolutely no doubt that once Havertz gets fit, Havertz walks back into the lineup straight up. No doubt at all. Complete crap from Gyökeres, bro. You understand? Oh man, wasn't good enough at all. I mean, at the end of the day, these things can happen and wherever, there's still, an slight increase, just 1 point, but still, in a way, I have to say, it's almost like as if the gap didn't even increase at all. It feels like a loss, or it looks like a loss, because there's a psychological effect as well that winning that game was going to play on the other teams. Number one, Liverpool are the champions, direct rivals, not direct in terms of the table, but in terms of status, in terms of status and all of that, the expectation that they are going to try and fight to retain their title and all of that, and also considering the results that were around, that would have sent such a message, and Arsenal has missed a big opportunity. And if all these other teams had lost hope, especially like City, because City were so downcast after their game against Brighton, but Arsenal drawing this game definitely will restore some hope to City. Because at this point now, psychologically also, what does that even do to the Arsenal team? You guess? Man, like, that was poor, bro. That was poor. And it might as well just been a loss, you guess. But, have to just accept it for what it is, take it as it comes. It's 2 points dropped for sure. But, I guess in situations like that, especially when you're trying to win the league and all of that, at times when you're playing all these games, if you can't win, then also don't lose, because it would have definitely been worse if Arsenal lost. But still, the hope and expectation, especially with how Arsenal has been passing every test recently and all of that, the hope and the expectation was that, okay, definitely based off of Arsenal beating Villa, beating Bournemouth, and, overcoming all these games that were like issues for Arsenal last season, that definitely Arsenal were going to take this opportunity. Imagine that what that would have done for morale. Not saying that making it 8 points clear would mean that Arsenal automatically run with the league, but there's a psychological play on this as well. It's not just about how many points are on the board, because the truth is this: if City were to be like 3 points ahead of Arsenal. People would definitely assume that City will go on and win the league. Why? Because because City over the years, with them being not just a challenging side for the title, but also a serial winner of the title, you get, they've earned that credibility, they've earned that right, they've earned that benefit of doubt and that respect for people to believe that, look, even though the lead is so slim, these guys are not going to, let it slip. They're not going to allow it slip away. Arsenal, you've not gained that yet. You've not gained that reputation. You've not gained that respect. In fact, nah, man. Man. Disappointing. But yeah, Arsenal still top of the league, Like I said, all the other teams losing and all of that. United drew as well. Result doesn't really mean that much in terms of the title race, but obviously, chance to just laugh at United paying all over again. Looks like Ole is going to be back at the wheel. It gets interesting to see what effect it's going to have on Chelsea as well when their manager starts to take charge from the next game and stuff like that. So yeah, this is the Premier League at the end of the day. All jokes aside, you see, you just kind of assume that it's all yours, except if, of course, you're City, based off of what you've done over the years and stuff. But yeah, this league is tough, bro. And yeah, the only comfort that I guess Arsenal fans can have, during all the post-match interviews and all of that, obviously the panel was Ian Wright, Michael Owen, and then I forget the guy who presents for Premier League, but then they had Emmanuel Petit, come and say a few words with the panel as well. Emmanuel Petit, legendary Arsenal midfielder and all of that. And he said something about, obviously, that performance wasn't good enough and all of that as well and stuff. But then he also kind of gave an example of in 1999, I think it was, Ian Wright was in that team as well when they won the league. And he gave a similar expression of something that happened that period about, it was winter period, it was a very frozen day and stuff like that. Arsenal played Liverpool at home, which probably would have been hybrid at the time, I think it was. And they were poor in that game, absolutely poor, and they drew the game. In fact, from what he said, the fans booed them off the pitch. That was how angry the fans were, you get. But then they went on to still win the league that season. So yeah, obviously, like, Arsenal have to fix up, get their act together. You get what I'm saying? The team doesn't look demoralized at all or anything like that, but still, it's just mad frustrating that, you pass all these different tests, all these difficulties that probably were way more difficult to achieve, and then this particular one, where not only is it a bit easier to achieve, coming at the right time, all the results are in your favor and everything, but you had the stronger team, like most of the advantages lay with you, so there was just no excuses, man. So yeah, anyway, still plenty of football to come. FA Cup, coming right close, I think from tomorrow and stuff like that. So yeah, man, still some football to catch up from before the next Premier League game. So yeah, thank you again for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, you get what I'm saying. Turn on notifications so you know every time I post. I'd love to see your comments, you get what I'm saying. Laugh at whoever you want to laugh at. Let's laugh together. Once more, I'm Football Talkative, and I'm out. See you in the next video. Peace.